Welcome back, Fenway Park. Final game of this brief two-game series with Seattle. Final game of the homestand for the Red Sox. National anthem sung by the cast from Showboat, which includes Tom Bosley. Remember him? He was Richie Cunningham's father on Happy Days. He's in the cast of Showboat, part of the national anthem here at Fenway Park before the Sox-Mariners game at Fenway this afternoon. What a great day. Great day for baseball. Sox and Mariners wrapping things up. Picture perfect day. 82 degrees here at Fenway Park. Winds very calm, but blowing in a little bit. And our forecast for this afternoon, clear skies over Fenway. Lou Pinella's lineup card features Joey Cora leading off, playing second base. Alex Rodriguez bats him in number 2 position at shortstop. Ken Griffey Jr. will hit into third place. He'll play center field. Edgar Martinez is the Mariners' cleanup man. Jay Buhner patrols right field. Paul Sorrento bats 6th. He plays first base. And Wilson gets the call behind the plate. Russ Davis bats 8th. He plays third. And Jose Cruz Jr., the number 9 hitter, out in left field.
And the defense this afternoon for the Red Sox, John Valentin at third base, Nomar Garciaparra the shortstop, Jeff Fry at second, Movon at first, left to right, Cordero, Bragg, O'Leary, Atterberg behind the plate, and on the mound right-handed Jeff Suppan. Start number 13 on the season, a record of 5-0, 4.60 ERA. He has won his last 3 games, wins against Detroit, Cleveland, and outstanding last time out against Oakland, 7 2/3 innings, allowing 4 hits and no runs, a couple of walks, and 6 strikeouts. This is the first time that he has faced the Seattle Mariners.
Men in blue, Mark Johnson will be calling the balls and strikes for us today. Behind the plate, Drew Coble works at first base, Tim McClellan at second, and Gary Cederstrom will be the umpire over third. All set to go on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon here in the Hub. Joey Cora looks at the first pitch of the afternoon for a called strike. Cora hitting .325 on the year, 9 homers and 42 runs batted in. Great day for baseball, really a great day for just about anything. A few fleecy white clouds. Fenway banged out for this afternoon's affair against the Seattle Mariners. Joey Cora with a fly ball, shallow left field. In comes Wilfredo Cordero to make the catch, and is quickly one out.
That last start for Suppan against Oakland, he really came after the Oakland hitters. Didn't waste much time on the mound. Tried to get ahead with strikes, and looked like he pitched with more confidence in that game than he had in any game so far this season. See if he can carry it over against a better hitter lineup this afternoon, the Seattle Mariners.
He's won his last 3 times out, beating Detroit, Cleveland, and then that game you talked about with Oakland. 3 no decisions, and prior to that 2 wins. So he's won his last 5 decisions, facing here Alex Rodriguez. Rodriguez at .314, 15 home runs, 54 runs batted in. American League starting shortstop in the All-Star game. American League batting champion of a year ago. And is even, a ball and a strike.
Alex Rodriguez, the only member of the lineup last night that had 2 hits in the ball game against Wakefield, 2 for 4. A lot of offers in that game and a couple of 1 hits.
Down low. Lou Pinella's crew sits in first place in the American League West. They've got a 1.5 game lead now over Anaheim. Anaheim gained a game in the standings. Angels winning yesterday, and the Mariners going down to defeat. Nomar Garciaparra to move on, 2 outs.
How about Anaheim, Bob? They lose a couple of tough games here at Fenway, and then they go out and just take care of business against Cleveland. Cleveland's having a tough time right now.
Cleveland holding on in the American League Central, but in the Central Division, 3.5 behind the Tribe as Ken Griffey Jr. steps in. You know, it was interesting here last night. A great ball game to watch, all kinds of things happening, and none of it really involved Junior Griffey. That's rare. Usually he puts on a show when he comes to Fenway. Of course, we're not done yet. You had the pitching of Randy Johnson and Tim Wakefield last night. You had the great catches by Buhner, home run by Vaughn. Griffey has really cooled here the last couple of months. Still has 32 total on the year as he lifts this one in the air to left field. Wilfredo Cordero shades the eyes from the sun, makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3. Top half the first inning for Jeff Suppan. Mariners scoreless. The Red Sox coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Back here at Fenway Park, the Mariners scored us. They went down 1-2-3 against Jeff Suppan in the top half of the inning. Now the Red Sox bat here on home turf. Jimmy Williams' lineup card has Nomar Garcia-Parra. Leading off at shortstop, John Valentin hits him a number 2 hole at third base. Then it's Mo Vaughn batting third. Reggie Jefferson back in the lineup as the DH. Wilfredo Cordero bats fifth. He plays left field. Troy O'Leary bats in a number 6 spot. Scott Hatteberg back behind the plate. Aaron Bragg in center field hits 8th, and Jeff Fry, the second baseman, 9th.
This afternoon, the Mariners will have Russ Davis at third base, Alex Rodriguez, the shortstop, Joey Cora at second, Paul Sorrento at first, Cruz, Griffey, and Buhner in the outfield. Dan Wilson behind the plate, and on the mound, right-hander Omar Olivares. Plus, he was with the Tigers earlier in the season, traded July 18th along with Felipe Lira for Scott Sanders and a couple of minor leaguers. He's making his third appearance overall for Seattle. He is 1-0 for Seattle, is 6-6 on the season. He's faced the Red Sox a couple of times this year, and both the games have been no decisions. Well, the Red Sox have hit him pretty well.
Now, last time was the 15th of July. Prior to that, it was June the 29th in Detroit. Garcia-Parra jumps on the first pitch of the ball game. Griffey goes back, makes the catch, 1 out.
Olivares has been around, no question about that. He's been with a number of teams, St. Louis, Colorado, Philadelphia, most recently with the Tigers for the last 2 years, 66, and of course part of this season before the trade. He's in the rotation. Felipe Lira, who came along with him, is in the bullpen for the Mariners.
Scott Sanders went the other way along with a couple of minor leaguers. Here's John Valentin, the Sox third sacker. John looks at a called strike. Valentin 302 on the year, 12 homers and 52 runs batted in. One and one the count on Valentin, who was 0 for 3 with a pair of walks in the ball game last night. And ball 2 strikes. Omar Olivares. Fastball missed inside on Valentin. Count is even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Olivares at times this season has had some problems with the walks. He's got 58 and 77 strikeouts. That's at 121 2/3 innings. He's also hit 10 batters, which is second in the league.
Valentin out to left center field. Junior Griffey comes over, makes a fine running catch. Griffey was quiet last night. He had a nice over-the-shoulder catch late in the ball game, and he made it look much easier than it was. That one was also a difficult play.
He had a long way to go. He was shading Valentin the opposite field. And the ball not hit all that high. Griffey with a long way to go, but he's able to chase it down and pick up the second out. This is some kind of defensive outfield for the Mariners. A couple of Gold Glovers in Buhner and Griffey.
Promising newcomer in Jose Cruz Jr. Here's Mo Vaughn. Big roar as Mo comes to the plate. Hit home run number 24 last night off Randy Johnson. Two balls and a strike, the count on Mo. Vaughn wound up 2 for 3, knocked in 3 runs in the game last night. Hit by a pitch early. Big swing by Mo, evens things at 2-2.
On now 7th in the league in batting average at .330. He is 7th in home runs with 24. Still hasn't made his way into the top 10 though in RBI though. He's 58 on the season, and the number 10 guy Jay Buhner has 76.
Strike 3 called. Vaughn down on strikes. 3 up and 3 down for the Red Sox, and we're scoreless after 1. Aaron Bragg leading off for the Red Sox here in the home half. The third jumps on the first pitch from Olivares, lines a base hit to left field.
4 straight games now for Bragg. He anxious to get a base hit. Didn't play in the game last night against Randy Johnson. Did get in later on in the game defensively. Fastball down and away. Will slap it to left field. Bragg trying to get back up over that 270 mark. 268 coming into the game.
Leadoff man aboard for the Sox. Here's Jeff Fry hitting out of the number 9 hole at 296 for the year. Couple of homers for Jeff and 27 runs batted in. Fry making his 18th consecutive start at second base. Nice article on Jeff in the paper yesterday where he's saying he has closed about 5 or 6 seasons as a team's everyday second baseman, but has gone to spring training, I think, with the job. Then went to spring training this year. First Cordero was at second base, and then the Red Sox moving John Valentin over. Fry, a utility player for much of the year, now has settled into that everyday role again. Done a nice job. Hot shot past Sereno, ate him up at first base into right field. Bragg round second, heads for third. Fry goes into second with a 2-base hit.
Now it seems like when Bragg's on first base, Jeff Fry will try to find that hole between first and second. Looks like he's intentionally going with that opposite field swing. Hard line driving quickly past Sorrento at first base, who's been outstanding defensively this year for the Mariners. And a little second and third action with nobody out here in the third. Last year it was Bragg and Fry at the top of the batting order the second half of the season. Now it's second half again, but this time 8 and 9 hitters in the lineup.
Second and third, nobody out. Top of the order we go. Nomar Garciaparra. In for a strike. Garciaparra had a couple of doubles in the ball game last night. Was 2 for 5. 7 of his last 11 hits, as you can see, have been for extra bases. Hitting now at 299 for the year. Strike 2. Good pitch on the inside corner.
Match up the numbers between Garciaparra and Rodriguez. Rodriguez at 314. Garciaparra coming in at 300. 15 home runs for Rodriguez. 17 for Nomar. Nomar's got him in RBIs. 59 to 54. And Rodriguez with 21 stolen bases. Nomar with 13 on the season. Defensively, Rodriguez has 19 errors and Garciaparra 13 errors.
With the fine young shortstops in the American League, Garciaparra with the edge in the home runs, as you mentioned, 17-15 with Jay Bell in between. Rodriguez has been in the majors longer. Garciaparra is slightly older because he played college ball at Georgia Tech. Rounds this one to third. Quite a play by Russ Davis. Not in time, though, to get Nomar Garciaparra. But he did save a run or 2.
Davis did save a couple of runs making the diving play. Then when he got up to throw the ball to first base, looked like a double clutch. And of course with Garciaparra's speed, that's going to burn Davis. See, he didn't have a grip on the baseball. Looked like it was slipping out of his hands by the time he did get the grip. Too late to get Nomar. But a nice defensive play to save 2 runs.
Number 13, the third baseman, John Valentin.
Oh, it's great to have that speed and get those infield hits.
5 hits for the Red Sox, including 3 straight here in the third inning to load the bases. Bases loaded, nobody out, and John Valentin at the plate. Valentin takes strike 1. John flied out to Griffey in center field back in the first inning. Numbers for John this year with the bases loaded. Red Sox with the bases loaded, nobody out, and the big hitters coming up here in the third. Runs inside, 1-1.
Yeah, that's why he hits a lot of guys. He has that fastball that he'll throw inside, and it's got a lot of movement on it, tailing back in the right-handers. Valentin just barely getting out of the way of this.
Sox with Bragg at third base. Fry down at second and Garcia Parra over at first. Ground ball down the third baseline. Davis steps on the bag for one, goes to second, not in time. Garcia Parra is in safely. In to score comes Darren Bragg as the Red Sox take the lead 1-0. And here comes Lou Piniella out of the Seattle dugout.
The throw pulled Joey Cora off the bag, and Tim McCullen, second base umpire, right on top of the play and calling Nomar safe. Lou will not even make all the way out to second. He's convinced that the call was correct, and he'll just take it back to the third base dugout. A couple of options for Davis, either to come home and cut down one run. He was going for 2 outs at third and at second, but a high throw will cost him at second base.
Now you can see if Cora did not have to leave the base, the throw was there in time. They would have had the force out on Garcia Parra. Dead a run in. Runners at first and second. With 1 out now, the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead and move on at the plate. Red Sox have jumped ahead here in the bottom half of the third inning. Garcia Parra at second base and John Valentin, safe on the fielder's choice, is at first. 1-0 pitch to Vaughn, missing inside. Mo in a good hitter's count now, 2-0. To Mo's 24 home runs have come here at Fenway. Pulled foul over towards the Red Sox dugout. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Rounding third is Garcia Parra. He's being waved home. Buhner's got a strong arm, but not that strong, as he guns it in. Finally cut off by Alex Rodriguez. An RBI single for Vaughn. Garcia Parra scores on the play. Valentin to third. So first and third for the Sox. They now have a 2-0 advantage.
The ball actually looked like it got in on Mo Vaughn. He couldn't extend on it, but he's able to make the contact and hit the ball in that hole between first and second. And of course that makes that play at second base even bigger, because that's the run that comes around to score. Garcia Parra with the second run for the Red Sox. Mo Vaughn has RBI number 59 on the season.
Sox now with 6 hits, 5 of them coming here in the third inning. Back in the second inning. Jefferson with the ground ball to second. They get 1 at second, and Rodriguez back to first for the inning-ending double play. 4-6-3, second straight inning. The Mariners have turned the double play to end the inning, but the Sox played 2. They've got a 2-0 lead after 3. Here's Randy Johnson, who worked in the ball game last night. Sox beat him for the first time in 5 years. Johnson working the 7 innings, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs, including the 2-run homer to Mo Vaughn. Rodriguez and Ken Griffey Jr. Cora looks at 1 down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Jeff Suppan staked to a 2-0 lead. Cora opened the ball game with a fly ball to Will Cordero in left field. So he's 0 for 1. Had 3 double plays already early in this one. 1 turned by the Sox and 2 by the Mariners as Cora fouls 1 off.
Joey Cora making his first All-Star team this year, and he enjoyed every minute of that. A lot of All-Stars on this Seattle ball club. Alex Rodriguez, Griffey.
Ground ball here to second base. Jeff Fry makes the play over to Mo Vaughn. The throw will pull Vaughn off the bag, and Cora reaches to open the Mariners' fourth.
At the throw from Jeff Fry going back up toward the line, and that happens a lot when a second baseman is making the play heading in that direction toward the mound. Balls tend to sail, and Vaughn cannot keep contact with the bag.
Rodriguez.
And Cora will beat it out. It's going to go as a base hit for Joey.
He picks up an infield single. Mariners now with 2 hits off Jeff Suppan. Last year's AL batting champ Alex Rodriguez at the plate. Eighth in the American League in hits. Pudge Rodriguez of Texas leads the league with 135, and then Nomar Garcia-Parra with 133 is next in line.
Actually, Nomar now with 134. He has one this afternoon, so he'll be one behind Rodriguez.
That's right. Yeah, the infield single, bottom half of last inning. 2 fine young shortstops on display here at Fenway Park today, Garcia-Parra and Rodriguez. You mentioned, Jerry, Seattle, a star-studded ball club, and Mariners may not be back to Fenway Park for a while. John Harrington, the Red Sox chief executive officer, is in Chicago today. They're discussing that radical realignment of Major League Baseball, and Lou Pinella's club could be in the National League next year in an 8-team team out west. Sox will be in a Northeast division in the American League, and the Mariners and all the West Coast clubs might be in the National League West a year from now. Apparently they talk originally that it may not come in for a couple of years. Now they're talking as early as next year. Fouled back our way. Still the ball and 2 strikes on Alex Rodriguez. Major League Baseball goes through with the realignment. There'd be heavy play within your own division. There would still be interleague play, but the Sox would only see Seattle, for example, or the National League West clubs coming through Fenway once every 4 years. But on the good side, you get the Yankees, the Orioles, the Blue Jays, etc., coming to Fenway 3 times a year rather than the 2 times that they come through right now. One-two pitch. Line drive, base hit, left field. Joey Cora will check in at second base. So 2 on, nobody out, and Junior Griffey coming up.
Nice job of staying back on the curveball that time by Rodriguez. Suppan trying to put him away with 2 strikes with the breaking ball, but instead Rodriguez will get on that front foot, but the hands will stay back, and he'll line the base hit to left field. So the Mariners threatening now with a couple on and nobody out, and their big bats coming up.
Suppan and company into the Griffeys, Martinez, and Buners. Meat of the order coming up now for the Mariners. Griffey quiet last night, 0 for 4, flied to left field, his first at bat here against Suppan this afternoon. Line drive up the middle, base hit. Charged out there by Bragg. Joey Cora scampering around to score. Bragg's throw will go to third, and safely there is Rodriguez. The Mariners are on the scoreboard. It's a 2-1 ball game. Seattle has runners at first and third. Still nobody out.
It's only so long you got to be able to keep this offense down. Remember, they're the leaders in the American League in runs now at 615 on the season. Off-speed pitch that Griffey will take up the middle. And a little first and third action as Rodriguez continues on the third. Bragg will make the throw, but not quite in time. It's a 2-1 ball game.
3 straight hits greet Suppan here in the 4th inning. Joe Kerrigan, Red Sox pitching coach, is out.
Number 11, The designated hitter.
Two-time
Edgar
American League
Martinez.
batting champion Edgar Martinez coming to the plate. Also hits into a lot of double plays, second most in the American League. Albert Bell and John Valentin are tied for the lead in that category. Both have hit into 15 along with Baroa of Baltimore. Pitches down low. Griffey will steal second without drawing a throw.
Number 11 for Griffey on the season, and that's one of the reasons you see him go there. You mentioned those double play numbers by Martinez. Hits a lot of balls in the ground, so you send that runner to first base, and that takes care of the double play threat.
And what would have been a double play ball, Nomar Garcia-Parra over to Mo Vaughn for the out. Rodriguez in to score on the play. Griffey advances to third. Ball game is tied 2-2.
Griffey with 11 stolen bases, and I mean he's probably the kind of player that could get 30 a year if he had to. Doesn't have to.
Jay Buhner.
Run to keep out of trouble like they did that time. Run, steal a base, stay away from the double play.
And a brand new ball game here at Fenway with Griffey at third, one out, and Jay Buhner at the plate. That's in for a called strike. One and one on Buhner. Buhner flied to right field in the second inning. Foul tip. 1-2. Going back to the Oakland game. Jeff Suppan had thrown 11 consecutive scoreless innings before the Mariners dented the plate twice against him here in the fourth. Still with Griffey at third base and one out. Suppan could use the big strikeout here. Does not get the call from Mark Johnson. 2-2.
Interesting here where the Red Sox have the right side of their infield in now with the 2 strikes on Buhner, but the left side back deep. So they're protecting against something that may be off toward the end of the bat.
Swing and a miss. Buhner goes down swinging. Big strikeout for Suppan.
14 strikeouts now for Buhner, third in the league behind Nieves and Canseco. And a big strikeout for Suppan to leave that man at third base. Now they have the 2 outs. They go upstairs with the fastball. And a lot of times that's what they'll try to do when they have a couple of strikes on Buhner.
Two outs. That leaves it up to Paul Sorrento, who takes one up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Three straight years, 20 or more home runs. 6 straight years, 10 or more dingers. Drives this one on a line, base hit right field. Into score comes Griffey as the Mariners take the lead 3-2.
Suppan's got burned a couple of times this inning. It looks like on the changeup that stayed up high. One to Griffey where he got a base hit to drive in a run. And this time to Sorrento where he'll pick up the 2-out base hit to give the Mariners the lead.
Number 6, the catcher, Dan
See the off-speed
Wilson.
pitch. Watch the location. It's not going to be down. It's going to stay upstairs. And Sorrento all over it for the base hit.
Batter will be the catcher, Dan Wilson. Wilson pops it up. Mo Vaughn with the call in foul territory and the catch, and that'll retire the side. But the Mariners plate 3, and they take the lead in this one. They lead at 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. change here again for the Mariners. The left-hander Mark Holzheimer is out. The right-hander Felipe Lira is in.
2 appearances since coming in that trade from the Tigers. Both have been out of the bullpen for Lira. There's his numbers overall on the season. Made 15 starts for Detroit. Had a record of 5-7.
Lira now pitching.
He at times also has problems with his control. The 47 walks in 94 2/3 innings.
Lira will be the third pitcher to work this afternoon for Seattle. Sox again have runners at first and second with 1 out. Lira will be greeted by Jeff Fry, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Fry smacked a double past the first baseman Paul Sorrento into the corner in right field back in the 3rd inning, and then lined out to Ken Griffey Jr. in center field in the 4th. Pitch is up high. That's a strike on Fry. 1 ball, 1 strike. Felipe Lira, 25 years of age, has been with the Tigers the past 2.5 seasons. First up in 95, spent the entire 95 season in a Tiger uniform, likewise 96, and then half a year this year before being dealt to Seattle. Signed by the Tigers as a non-drafted free agent back in 1990, worked his way through the Tiger system. Fry chases the breaking ball off the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lira used out of the bullpen about half and half his first season with the Tigers. Was strictly used as a starting pitcher last year. Mariners using him out of the bullpen thus far. Fry pops it up. Coming on is Junior Griffey to make the catch, and there's 2 gone.
Well, Red Sox need one of those big 2-out base hits here. First and second, nobody out, no sacrifice. Couple of pop-up outs. Nomar looking for one more multiple hit game. He's got 43. That's the most in the league.
Only Mo Vaughn has more 2-out RBI for the Red Sox this year than does Garcia Parra, batting here with 2 on, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nomar 1 for 3 on the day, has flied to center field. That was in the 1st inning. Had an infield single in the 3rd, and then flied out to center again in the 5th. 2 on, 2 outs for the Red Sox, who trail the Mariners 3-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Missed outside. Count even, 1-1. Troy O'Leary opened the inning for the Red Sox with a single to left. Scott Hatteberg follow with a walk. They're still in place at first and second, but now 2 outs. In for a strike, 1-2. Garcia-Parra with his between pitch ritual. Felipe Lira is set. Here's the 1-2 to Nomar. Fly ball, shallow center field. Junior Griffey flips down the sunglasses. He's there to make the catch, and that retires the side. So the Sox get 2 on with nobody out. Failed to score. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They strand a pair. We head to the late innings. Seattle 3, the Red Sox 2. Lead for the Mariners 3-2. Mariners have used 3 pitchers so far. Now the Sox are going to go to the bullpen. That'll be all for Jeff Suppan. Butch Henry, the left-hander, is first up.
Last time out for Henry, 3 scoreless innings against the Anaheim Angels. 4 hits allowed in that span, a couple of walks and 4 strikeouts. Henry overall in the season, a record of 4-2. 28 strikeouts and 39 1/3 innings to go along with 41 hits and 11 walks.
So Jeff Suppan will go the first 6 in this one. Leave behind in the ball game 3-2. Suppan gave up 3 runs, 7 hits while he was in there. Had 2 strikeouts and did not walk a batter.
Number 44, the first baseman.
No walks for Suppan. He threw 82 pitches, making a bid to win his 6th straight ball game, but leaves this one down 3-2. Need his mates to take him off the hook. Paul Sorrento will lead off here against Butch Henry. Sorrento, Dan Wilson, and Russ Davis. Sorrento's base hit to right field with 2 outs back in the 4th inning is the difference in this one. Broke a 2-2 tie, gave the Mariners the 3-2 lead that they still enjoy here in the top of the 7th. Aaron Bragg coming in to make the one-handed catch, 1 out.
A long time for Bragg to get started on that pop-up. It was toward the end of the bat, and again that wind this afternoon blowing toward the bullpen area, knocking down the fly ball.
Number 6.
Here's Bragg with a very late start. Now he has to really put the push on to make the catch.
Checking out that sky. So 1 gone here in the top of the 7th inning. Dan Wilson, the Mariners catcher, at the plate. Wilson grounded to second base in the 3rd inning. Fouled out to Mo Vaughn in the 4th. Line drive, left field, hangs there for Will Cordero to make the catch, 2 outs. Easy inning so far for Butch Henry. Picture perfect day here at Fenway. Another sellout crowd on hand to see the Red Sox and the Mariners.
Number 18, the third baseman.
Temperature in the low 80s as we got started here this afternoon. Blue skies, low humidity.
Yeah, no humidity. It's nice. Nice and comfortable.
It won't be when you get to Kansas City, I bet.
You never know there. You're right, though. It could be very humid. How about Texas? That'll be nice.
Kansas City, where they... Russ Davis batting here against Butch Henry. Henry missing away. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Mariner third sacker. Davis is 0 for 2 in this one. Called out on strikes in the 3rd inning. Fouled to Mo Vaughn in the 5th. 1-1 from Butch Henry, down and in for ball 2. Rounded to short. Nomar Garcia-Parra makes the play. Over to Mo Vaughn. Butch Henry comes out of the bullpen to throw a 1-2-3. Top half of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time here at Fenway Park. It's the M's 3 and the Red Sox 2. Fenway Park, Seattle Mariners have a 2-run advantage over the Red Sox, 4-2. Junior Griffey has just singled for the 3rd time in this ball game. Junior 3 for 4 with 3 singles. Checking in with Mo Vaughn over at first base. This single here to right field in the 8th inning has knocked Butch Henry out of the ball game, and now John Wasden will take his place on the mound.
Wasden is 3-5 on the season. He's making his 34th appearance. He has made 7 starts for the Red Sox. Last time Wasden worked was in game 2 of the doubleheader on the 25th against Anaheim. A couple of hits allowed, 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Kind of a difficult situation here. One of the league's best hitters in Martinez, and first and third for the Mariners. Been a strange ball game this afternoon. Red Sox have had a couple of opportunities to score runs, especially back in the 4th and 5th inning. I should say 5th and 6th. But zeros on the board. The Mariners trying to have themselves a big inning here in the 8th.
Sox have stranded 9 thus far, but right now they're worried about keeping this just a 2-run Mariner lead. We mentioned first and third with 1 out, and one of the best hitters in baseball, Edgar Martinez, coming to the plate against John Wasden. Mariners have Martinez up now and Buhner to follow, and they're about a home run away from blowing this thing open. They have a 2-run lead. Dave Buhner waiting his turn in the on-deck circle as Edgar Martinez, who's 2 for 3 today, goes to work against Wasden.
Griffey ran in this situation earlier in the ball game, picked up a stolen base.
Drilled towards the wall in left field, and it's gone. A home run for Edgar Martinez. Just had enough legs to clear the 37-foot green monster in left field, and a 3-run blast by Martinez.
Well, Martinez back to where he should be. 0 for 3 last night. That's very unusual to see him go hitless in a ball game. Well, he's got 3 this afternoon and 3 RBI on this one swing. Inside high fastball. A line drive home run up over the green monster. 4 RBI total on the afternoon for Martinez.
So the Mariners, with team home run number 161 on the year, have a 5-run lead now. 7-2 as they bat in the top of the 8th inning. John Wasden working here to Jay Buhner. Count is 0-2. Mariners head from here to Milwaukee. Got 4 in Milwaukee over the weekend. Ground ball here to second base. Jeff Fry to Mo Vaughn for the 2nd out of the inning.
Martinez with number 17 on the season. And with the 4 RBIs today, that's a 77 now on the year for Edgar.
Number 44.
He is just a good hitter. I mean, he can pull the ball, hit the ball straight away, move it to the opposite field.
I think if they move Seattle to the National League, he'd have trouble finding a home.
Yeah, take about 2 seconds.
He has to DH. That's what he's done. He had difficulty finding a spot for him to play in the field. And if Seattle does indeed switch to the National League next year, there'll be American League teams standing in line to welcome Martinez into their fold. Popped up by Sorrento. Back to make the catch is Scott Hatteberg, and that retires the side. But the damage done. The Mariners picking up 4 big runs in the top of the 8th inning, and they now have a 7-2 advantage as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 2 big innings for the Mariners, 3 after the Red Sox had taken the lead. Seattle scored 3 in the 4th and have added 4 more in the 8th inning to lead it 7-2. Red Sox have Troy O'Leary, Scott Hatteberg, and Darren Bragg. 3 straight left-handed hitters coming up against Bobby Ayala in the 8th.
Well, the Mariners have had trouble in their bullpen all season long, but recently they've pitched very well, in particular on this road trip.
Been a good road trip for him, too. 2 of 3 in Cleveland, 3 straight for the first time ever. They swept the Yankees in New York, dropped the front end of this 2-game series to the Red Sox, but they have the lead here this afternoon. Blues Club has 4 in Milwaukee over the weekend and then back home to the Pacific Northwest. Tomorrow at midnight again is the trading deadline. You can still trade after that, obviously, but you have to clear waivers on the players, so it'll be interesting to see if Seattle makes any moves. That one's a foul ball by O'Leary, smoked down the first base line, and Drew Coble danced out of the way and made the call at the same time. And he's got a baseball. Angels making the move yesterday, trading Layridge to Texas, getting pitching help in Kenny Hill, who will pitch their ball game tonight in Cleveland. Angels also hope to get Mark Langston back next month to further bolster the staff. Foul back by O'Leary. The move the Mariners made last year was to trade Darren Bragg to the Red Sox and pick up Jamie Moyer, and that trade's worked out pretty well for Seattle. Moyer's done a nice job for him. Moyer, Facero, and Randy Johnson, the 3 left-handers in their starting rotation.
Jamie Moyer, 11 wins on the season, only 3 losses.
Seattle had been said to be in the market for a closer. Norm Charlton has had his difficulties this year. There were some rumors earlier that they had talked to the Red Sox about Heathcliff Slocum. Ground ball, that's fair. Pass Sorrento, almost played by the ball boy down there. Then he thought better of it, as well he should at the last moment. I think it still may have clipped his foot.
Yeah, the umpire Drew Coble will call interference on the ball boy, and it's going to go as a double, which is probably what it was going to end up anyway. Right down that first base line again for O'Leary, and there's the ball boy thinking for a moment it was a foul ball, and somebody probably yelled at him, say leave it alone, and he tried to get out of the way but couldn't.
Buhner playing a little soccer there. O'Leary at second with a leadoff double.
The catcher, Scott
But instead of
Hatteberg.
3-2 where it was at the top of the 8th, it's now a 7-2 lead for the Mariners. A little more breathing room for that Mariner bullpen as Scott Hatteberg steps up. In for a called strike. Hatteberg has gone 0 for 1 plus 2 walks. Bobby Ayala is the 4th Seattle pitcher of the day. Hatteberg swings and misses. Down in the count, 0-2. Bob Wells warms in the bullpen for the Mariners. Right now the job belongs to Bobby Ayala. Hatteberg down swinging. Not been a big strikeout day for the Seattle staff. The starter Olivares had 2. That's the first for Ayala. Just 3 total for the Mariners staff.
Number 56, the center fielder, Darren Bragg.
Randy Johnson had 9 in the loss to the Red Sox last night and now leads the American League with 218 for the year.
9 in what you might consider an off night for Randy Johnson.
Now, didn't have his best stuff, only struck out 9. Only worked 7 innings in the ball game last night. Aaron Bragg takes a called strike. That evens things on him at a ball and a strike. Bragg, of course, former Mariner. Bragg, when he was with Seattle, was part of a left field platoon with Rich Amaral. Mariners, of course, very well set in the outfield with Buhner in right field and Junior Griffey in center. And now with Jose Cruz Jr. in left. Three balls and a strike.
Well, we mentioned last night there have been 48 players that have played alongside Griffey in left field. And now with the Cruz there, that could be it for a while, it looks like.
Solid, young, talented outfield. Bragg in the air to left field. Cruz is back at the wall. We'll have to play this one off the wall. Got a little too close that time. O'Leary able to score on the play. It's a double off the wall for Darren Bragg. It's 7-3.
And looks like Lou has seen enough of Ayala this inning with a couple of hits. And he's making his way again out to the mound to make the pitching change. Bragg to the opposite field. Bragg, I'm sure, certainly enjoys getting base hits against his former ball club. A couple in the game this afternoon. Picks up an RBI here. For Bragg, it is his 46th RBI of the season.
So the Mariners once again in this one have gone to the bullpen. We will take a break. Back with more action from Fenway right after this. Pitching change for Seattle. We've got Bob Wells now, the latest to make his way in from that Seattle bullpen.
Wells got a couple of saves on the season. He picked one up over the weekend against the Yankees, working a couple of shutout innings. Wells has one start on the season. This will be his 31st appearance overall and a record of 2-0.
The second baseman, Jeff Fry.
Sox down by 4 runs, 7-3, batting here in the bottom of the 8th. Bragg at second base, 1 out, a run in. Jeff Fry, who has a double in 3 plate appearances, takes ball 1 from Bob Wells. Mariners have cleaned out the bullpen this afternoon. Just Hurtado, who we saw last night, and the closer Charlton are left out there. Fry stings this one to right center. There goes Junior after it. Not able to run this one down. It'll go all the way to the wall. Bragg has scored. Fry replaces him at second, and suddenly it's 7-4. Sox have scored a pair here in the home half of the 8th. 3 doubles by the Red Sox this inning.
And the second double of the day for Jeff Fry. Of course, they play shallow against Fry, and Griffey will not be able to chase this one down as Fry pushes it out toward the Red Sox bullpen. 3 doubles, as you mentioned, Bob, and Red Sox back in the game, 7-4.
Can there be anything tougher on a manager's stomach than to have a contending ball club with a weak bullpen?
I can imagine a few times this year Lou Piniella has had that feeling.
Omar Garcia-Parra takes a called strike. This is an area you certainly think that they need to shore up because they have the worst bullpen ERA in the American League. Gary mentioned it has been better on this trip, but for the season, 6.13. Charlton has a number of blown saves at the end. The bullpen, of course, will be so vitally important if the Mariners qualify for postseason play. One pitch here to Nomar Garcia-Parra, skied to Griffey in center field. Griffey makes the catch. That's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
That is the 4th time this afternoon that Garcia-Parra has flied out to Griffey in center field. 1 for 5 on the day, but 4 fly balls to center.
Number 13.
Okay, Griffey with 7 putouts in the ball game. He's been busy out there. For him, as you mentioned, courtesy of Nomar Garcia-Parra. Here's John Valentin. Valentin tries to drop a bunt down the third baseline. Russ Davis lets it roll. Hits the bag. That's a fair ball. No advancement from Jeff Fry, who just watched the proceedings from second base. But now the Sox have 2 aboard. And Mo Vaughn will come to the plate representing the tying run.
Not a bad idea at all by Valentin most of the time, and say, well, you know, swing the bat with 2 outs, try to drive in the run. But the Red Sox need base runners, and he catches Davis way behind the bag where he should be, and he'll put it right on the line and hit the bag. Just barely getting the bag. So you get on base and you get a chance to bring your big power hitter to the plate, but it looks like it's going to be against Norm Charlton.
Lupinella is wearing a path out on the Fenway grass between the dugout and the pitching mound. It will not be a long appearance by Bob Wells. Seattle going to make another pitching change. So we're back again with more from Fenway with a new Mariner pitcher right after this. We move to the top of the 9th here at Fenway Park. Still Seattle leading the Red Sox by a score of 7-4 in our long battle here this afternoon. Mike Benjamin into the ball game as a pinch runner for Mo Vaughn. Will replace Vaughn defensively at first base. Stanley had pinch hit for Jefferson, so if you put Stanley there, you'd lose the DH. And Heathcliff Slocum will become the 4th Red Sox pitcher of the afternoon.
Appearance number 48 on the season for Slocum. He's 0-4, 5.56 ERA. That 17th save came last time out when he pitched a scoreless 9th inning against the Oakland A's back on the 24th. So it's been a while since Slocum's been in a ball game, and trying to hold it right here at a 7-4 ball game and give Red Sox a chance in the 9th.
Bottom 3rd of the order due up for the Mariners: Wilson, Davis, and Cruz. So it's been sort of meet the staff for both teams today. 6 pitchers used by Seattle, 4 by the Red Sox, as Slocum goes to work here against Wilson. 1 ball, no strikes. Jeff Suppan and Omar Olivares were the 2 starters. They are still the pitcher of record. Olivares would stand to get the win, and Suppan would pick up his first loss of the year if the Red Sox failed to come back and tie this game. Sox about hit the Mariners 13-11, but trail where it counts in the run column 7-4. Sox certainly have not been without their scoring chances. They have stranded a dozen runners in the ball game. They left 2 on in each of the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, and then left the bases loaded in the 8th. Slocum's 3-1 pitch to Wilson is downstairs for ball 4.
Well, Slocum's name has been brought up many times in some trade possibilities, and one of the teams is Seattle Mariners,
Number 18,
who seem to be in the business of trying to get someone for the bullpen.
Davis.
Wilson at first base, nobody out. Russ Davis at the plate here for the Mariners. Davis 0 for 3 for the afternoon. 1 for 6 so far in this abbreviated 2-game series. He's bunting right back to Slocum. Slocum takes the sure route over at first. The sacrifice puts Wilson at second base.
Lupinella trying to maybe squeeze out one more run in this ball game. Nice job by Davis getting the bunt down and getting Wilson to second.
Number 23, the left fielder, Jose Cruz Jr.
Number 9 hitter for the Mariners, Jose Cruz Jr., who had a triple off the ladder. To the left of the scoreboard. On the left field wall, his last at bat. He's 1 for 3 for the afternoon, trying to pick up Dan Wilson here from second base with 1 out. Slocum starts him off with strike 1. Up high for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Cruz has flied to center, flied to left before the triple off the wall. One ball, 2 strikes.
Cruz pretty much a free swing at 2. He has only walked 13 times and struck out 43 since being called up at the end of May.
Swing and a miss, struck him out into the high fastball. Cruz down on strikes, 2 gone for the Mariners here in the 9th.
Slocum been in a pretty good stretch for the Red Sox, 6 for 6 in his last 6 save opportunities. And as we mentioned, Bobby hadn't worked in quite a while, so Jimmy Williams, 2 reasons to get him in here, to get him an inning worth of work and also try to keep the Mariners from scoring again.
Red Sox side of the scorecard, they'll be sending up Wilfredo Cordero, Troy O'Leary, Scott Hatteberg in the 9th inning. Probably some pinch hitters with some left-handed batters coming up. Shane Mack for 1 available on the bench. Wilson grabs his lead off second base. Joey Cora looks at strike 1. Cora's had a 2-hit ball game. He's 2 for 4. Suppan, Henry, Wasden, and now Slocum for the Red Sox. Ground ball rolled towards Fry at second, has to hurry, gets it over to Benjamin at first. Down go the Mariners in the top half of the 9th inning. So to the bottom of the 9th we go. Sox trailing the M's 7-4. Back here for the bottom half of the 9th inning. Sox need 3 to tie and 4 to pull out a dramatic win over the Mariners here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Sox made a run at him in the 8th. Jimmy Williams' crew leaving the bases loaded after scoring a couple of runs in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Trail it now 7-4. Mariners have had bullpen difficulties, and it could be an interesting ride here in the home half of the 9th inning. Sox have Wilfredo Cordero, Troy O'Leary, and Scott Hatteberg. Cordero's in the on-deck circle. He'll be first up, and next to him is Shane Mack, who will probably bat for O'Leary. Meanwhile, Norm Charlton, who has had 7 blown saves in his 21 save opportunities, continues on the hill here for the Mariners. Two big innings for the Mariners. 3 runs in the 4th inning. They added 4 more in the 8th. A big hit of the ball game. The 3-run home run by Edgar Martinez, which interestingly enough right now is the difference.
Yeah, that was the big inning certainly for the Mariners, and it started with that triple by Cruz that hit off the ladder in left field and bounced toward the wall. He picked up the 3 bases on it. Joey Cora getting a base hit on an 0-2 count, and then of course Martinez with the line drive home run up over the left field wall.
The left fielder, Wilfredo.
So here come the Red Sox in the bottom half of the 9th inning. One ball, no strikes on Cordero, who's 1 for 4 on the afternoon. Base hit, center field.
Now Cordero has been one of the better hitters against left-handing pitching for the Red Sox this season. I think .313 against lefties coming into the game. A couple of hits today, 2 for 5.
For the Red Sox.
Well, it's been a homestand of comebacks for the Red Sox and exciting wins. Maybe one's in store this afternoon.
Here's Shane Mack to try and keep things going. Mack batting for O'Leary here in the 9th inning. One ball, one strike. Shane Mack at .311 for the year. Line drive to left field. Base hit. Falls safely in front of Cruz. The 2 on, nobody out. Tying run coming to the plate.
Marty Contreras, the pitching coach for the Mariners, on that phone. The only guy we have left out there is Hurtado, as you mentioned, Bob, who worked in the ballgame yesterday. He's going to get up and start to loosen up now.
The catcher, Scott Hatteberg.
Meanwhile, Scott Hatteberg comes up. Robbed of a home run by Buhner last night. It would almost be poetic justice if he could get one maybe into the bullpen right here. Hatteberg 0 for 2 plus a couple of walks. Count is even now at a ball and a strike. Two on, nobody out. Sox batting here, bottom half the 9th inning. One ball, 2 strikes. Hatteberg with a ground ball on the right side. Cora goes to second for 1. That's all they'll get. They get just the force out on Shane Mack. Not hit that hard. Cordero able to move to third base. Mack forced at second. Hatteberg safe at first on the fielder's choice.
Mariner infield is not trying to rush that play. Just make sure they get one out. Joey Cora has to go 4 or 5 steps to his left. Almost threw the ball away. The ball was down and away from Rodriguez, but he's able to handle it and get the force out.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Red Sox, now running by Hatteberg, number 30, Jesus Tavares.
Jesus Tavares being announced in the ballgame. He will pinch run for Hatteberg. Tavares in the game as a pinch runner. Cordero at third. Tavares over at first. Darren Bragg is the hitter. He's
only bench player that Williams has not used is Walt McKeel, and if this game would be tied up, he would certainly come in to catch.
One ball, no strikes to count on Darren Bragg. Upstairs, 2-0. Whether he gets the job done or not this afternoon, Charlton has certainly made this an adventure for Lou Piniella and the Mariners. Bragg hits it to first base off Sorrento. That rolls over towards the crowd. In to score is Cordero. Tavares goes to third. It'll be a two-base hit for Bragg. It is 7-5. And the Sox will have the tying run at second base. That's two that have exploded at Sorrento today. Fry hit one earlier.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how they score this at first base. The key here for the Red Sox is Bragg. The potential tying run gets to second base. Ball deflects off Sorrento all the way down that right field line. And they're going to score a base hit for Darren Bragg.
Second baseman, Jeff Fry.
It'll be a double for Bragg. That's his second double. Third hit of the ball game. 7-5. Look at that. Sox have pounded out 16 hits. And are a base hit, a well-placed base hit away from tying this game here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Fry is 1 for 4. He takes a called strike.
7 of those 16 hits have come in the last 2 innings.
Fry is 2 for 4. He has a pair of doubles in this one. Charlton on the ropes here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Takes a called strike. He is down now in the count 0-2. Foul back, still 0-2, the count on Fry.
Fry, a good man to have up in this situation. Very seldom strikes out, usually makes contact.
Here's the 0-2 again from Charlton. Outside, ball 1. Seattle clinging to a 7-5 advantage. Red Sox have Jesus Tavares at third base. And it would be the tying run. Darren Bragg down at second with 1 out. Here's the 1-2 from Charlton. Ground ball left side, flagged down by Rodriguez over to Sorrento in time to get Fry for the second out. Tavares scores. That makes it a 1-run game, 7-6, and the potential tying run. Darren Bragg 90 feet away at third base.
Yeah, that wasn't that easy a ground ball either, Rodriguez. That ball looked like it had a lot of spin on it and almost got by him.
The shortstop,
Able to flag it down right at the last second. You see the glove actually going back out toward the outfield. And just barely gets Fry at first base, but Red Sox now 1 run behind and Garcia Parra at the plate. Nice play by the Mariners shortstop.
Sox have come off the deck trailing 5 runs. 7-2 have made it a 1-run ball game. Bragg at third, 2 outs. Garcia Parra at the plate. Takes one up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Garcia Parra is 1 for 5 in this one. Had an infield single back in the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Mo Vaughn was the hero Saturday. Wilfredo Cordero Sunday. Perhaps Nomar Garcia Parra here on this Wednesday afternoon. To shortstop, one hop there for Rodriguez, over to Sorrento, the ball gets away, tying run is scored, ball rolls into the dugout, and Garcia Parra goes to second base. The Sox have tied it up.
Well, the little sidearm flip by Rodriguez at shortstop's going to tail back in toward the runner. It's going to pull Sorrento off the bag and eventually find its way in the Red Sox dugout. One hop to Rodriguez. And there's the throw, tailing back in. Sorrento has to leave the bag, tries to knock it down, cannot do it. Game is tied. And Garcia Parra in scoring position.
And here comes Lou Piniella one more time.
I think what's going to happen here, Bob, is they'll just walk Valentin and take their chances with Benjamin. You made the point of pinch running for Vaughn. And what's going to happen here, I would think, with first base open and the score tied at 7, they'll just walk Valentin.
And pitch to Benjamin.
And he has to hit.
Here's John Valentin batting with Garcia Parra at second base, but Jerry mentioned the Mariners are going to take the bat out of John's hands. The intentional pass will bring up Mike Benjamin.
It's a couple of times that Jimmy Williams has removed Vaughn from the game, and this is the first time it's really come back to hurt him, because obviously Mo would be hitting, or at least on deck, and they'd have to pitch to John Valentin.
Valentin walked intentionally, and Mike Benjamin now makes his way to the plate.
See Griffey talking with Buhner out in right field, going over Benjamin, the scouting report on how they're going to play him.
Benjamin has just 4 hits in his last 22 plate appearances. Hitting .200 on the year. Ball 2. That one almost gets away from Wilson. Not far enough, though, for Garcia Parra to advance. Benjamin a .200 hitter, but his average just went up a couple of points, with Charlton falling behind 2-0. Hitters count here. 2-0 pitch from Charlton. Downstairs, ball 3. Now, if Benjamin were to walk, Mike Stanley is standing on deck. Way up high and away for ball 4. The bases are loaded.
Lou Piniella's seen this happen a few times to his club this year.
Number 20, the designated hitter, Mike Stanley.
Well, the bases are loaded. With 2 out, same situation as Stanley came to the plate with last inning. Stanley's ground ball to Davis at third base in the 8th left the Sox juice. Now Mike, same situation here in the 9th inning with the game on the line. Skies it to left center field. Jose Cruz Jr. is there. Griffey calls him off, and we have got extra innings here at Fenway Park on this Wednesday afternoon. Stanley out on a fly ball to Griffey in center. 9 complete at Fenway. Mariners and Red Sox tied 7-up. Extra innings on tap this Wednesday afternoon at Fenway Park. The Red Sox coming up with 3 in the bottom half of the 9th inning to tie the ball game 7-7. So we go to the 10th inning. Throwing error by Alex Rodriguez here at short on the ground ball. It'll sail a little wide here of Sorrento. Tavares will come in with the game tying run, and down to second base goes Nomar Garciaparra. So extra frames are on tap. Red Sox defensively have Darren Bragg now in right field. They have Shane Mack, or Tavares rather, in center.
And Mike Stanley behind the plate. There's Tavares in center field.
So with Stanley behind the plate, they will lose the designated hitter, which means that the pitcher spot in the batting order will come up. Benjamin at first, Fry at second, Garciaparra at short, Valentin at third, Stanley catching, and Cordero, Tavares, and Bragg in the outfield, which means that the pitcher would bat him a number 5-6 slot right behind Cordero, where Shane Mack was used as the pinch hitter. Which would mean the pitcher would be the second batter up for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 10th inning, right?
Well, you hope the leadoff man gets on and you bunt him over.
And we got a new pitcher as well as Jim Corsi takes over on the mound.
Corsi making his 32nd appearance for the Sox, a record of 1-1, 4.08 ERA. Last time he worked was on the 25th against the Anaheim Angels, a couple of scoreless innings in game 2 of that doubleheader. And he's going to have to deal with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in this lineup for the Mariners. Rodriguez, Griffey, and Martinez.
You'd have to think, though, as you look at Lou and figure that his club certainly has a shot at getting to the playoffs, and with all the talent that you said earlier, what a star-studded club this is, that the front office of the Mariners is going to have to go out and get some bullpen help if the Mariners are going to do anything in the postseason.
Now catching number 20.
Lou getting together with Mark Johnson, the home plate umpire, making sure that on the lineup cards they have everything right, with the DH now out of the game and exactly where Corsi is going to be hitting in the lineup.
Now playing right field, number 56, Darren Bragg. Bragg now playing right field.
Alex Rodriguez to get the Mariners started here in inning number 10.
Now batting, number 3, the shortstop, Alex
So Corsi and Rodriguez as we get underway here in the 10th inning. Fouled off, 1 strike to count. So both starters now. Jeff Suppan of the Red Sox off the hook for the loss here this afternoon. That'll also wipe out any possibility of Olivares picking up the win. The game belongs to the bullpen. 1-1 to count on Rodriguez, who has gone 1 for 4 this afternoon.
9 runs scored in the final 2 innings, 4 by the Mariners and 5 by the Red Sox.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now 2-2 the count. Rounder past the dive of Valentin at third base. That'll rattle around down in the left field corner. Chased down there by Cordero. A leadoff double for Alex Rodriguez.
A lot of times in this situation, tie ball game, you see that third baseman and first baseman right on the line trying to prevent the double. Valentin was not right on the line, close to the line, and that ball hit so hard he cannot make the play in the backhand. And he gets all the way down into the left field corner, rattles around in the door, and the leadoff double for Rodriguez. So that has to make him feel a little better anyway after the throwing error to allow this game to be tied. And gets himself in a scoring position with nobody out. And they're not going to fool with Griffey with first base open.
Sort of a no-brainer here. Of course, he walks Junior. He'll pitch instead to Edgar Martinez.
Pick your poison in this situation, you know.
Four straight out of the strike zone, and Junior Griffey's aboard.
Griffey leads the American League in intentional walks. That's 15 now in the season, and behind him in second place, Mo Vaughn.
Number 11.
He's got 13.
The designated hitter, Edgar Martinez.
7-7 ball game here in the 10th inning. 2 out, nobody on it. A guy who's had a nice afternoon for himself. Edgar Martinez at the plate. Martinez hit a 3-run homer for the Mariners in the top of the 8th inning that at the time you thought probably would seal things for Seattle as they went up 7-2. Then the Sox got 2 in the bottom of the 8th, 3 more in the 9th inning to force the extra innings.
Now, it gives you an idea how Lou Piniella feels about the way games have gone for him this year. Late in the game, he had a comfortable lead, but still had a sacrifice back in the 9th inning when Davis sacrificed Wilson a second. He wanted to get one more run.
Martinez grounds it to short. Could be 2. Garcia Parra to Fry to Benjamin. 6-4-3 with Rodriguez taking third.
You see why Martinez at times will hit into a lot of double plays. He hits the ball hard and he hits it toward the center of the field a lot. And if it's on the ground, it's going to be pretty much a double play situation for the shortstop and second baseman.
The right fielder, Jay
Hard
Buhner.
slide by Griffey, but the Red Sox complete the double play.
Well, the intentional pass to Junior Griffey pays off. Martinez bangs into the 6-4-3 twin killing, and Jay Buhner at the plate. Buhner looks at ball 1. Buhner's flied to right, struck out. Lined into a double play with Griffey throwing out, trying to score from third base on the play by Cordero, and then grounded to second base. 2 balls, no strikes. Alex Rodriguez opened the inning with a double. He's at third with 2 outs. Three balls, no strikes as they pitch carefully here to Buhner. Left-handed hitting Paul Sorrento up next for the Mariners. There's 4 straight to Buhner. And the Mariners have runners at first and third. Joe Kerrigan, Red Sox pitching coach, now coming out for a word with Jim Corsi.
Couple of pitches left for Jimmy Williams, Brandenburg, and Ron Mayhay. Right and
Number
left-hander,
44,
and Hurtado
first baseman,
seems to be it for Lou Piniella.
I'll say not much on the shelf for Lou, is there? Paul Sorrento 1 for 4 today. Makes the called strike from Corsi. That'll even things at 1-1. Buhner takes off from first base and moves down to second. 2-1 the count on Sorrento. All tied here in the top of the 10th. Sorrento, ground ball, right side. Benjamin with the play to Corsi covering for the final out of the inning. Mariners waste a leadoff double here by Alex Rodriguez. So coming up in the bottom of the 10th inning, the pitcher will be due up for the Red Sox. Seattle and Boston 7-7 here after 9.5. Back here for the bottom half of the 10th inning. 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for the Mariners. 7 runs, 16 hits, and no errors for the Red Sox. Sox tied this ball game with some runs late, 2 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th. And will now go to work against yet another Seattle pitcher here in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Upinella once again has gone to the bullpen. He's cleaned things out there now as Edwin Hurtado is in the game.
Hurtado worked in the ball game yesterday. Faced 4 batters, pitched 1 inning, allowing 1 hit and no runs. Overall for Hurtado would be appearance number 13. He has a record of 1-1. He called from Tacoma on July 17th. Made a start that night. He was 5-5 with the Rainiers. Second time that he's been up with the Mariners this season. Here's Corsi, who's going to have to hit second.
You brought up an interesting possibility between innings. Say you were going to insert Ron Mayhay into the game. This would be a good spot for Mayhay to hit.
Well, Mayhay, of course, has some experience swinging the bat and at the major league level. It looks like Steve Avery is going to grab a bat.
Why not? Not a bad choice either. Avery puts on a great display in batting practice. Wouldn't it be something if Avery hit the game-winning home run? That'd be wild, huh?
Well, Avery's always been a very good hitter over in the National League on a staff that has excellent hitters. Glavine, Avery, Maddox, Smoltz. They all take it very seriously.
Could be fun here in the bottom half of the 10th inning.
Number 12, the left fielder, Wilfredo Cordero.
First, Wilfredo Cordero will lead off for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 10th. There's a called strike. Hurtado is the 7th Mariner pitcher. Olivares, Holzheimer, Lira, Ayala, Wells, Charlton, and now Hurtado. Foul back by Wilfredo. Down in the count, 0-2.
Hurtado has given up 5 home runs in 18 in the 3rd innings.
Up and in. Here's the 0-1-2, and Cordero laces it on a line to left field, but righted Cruz for the first out of the inning. So 1 out, and here comes Steve Avery as a pinch hitter.
Avery regularly takes a batting practice for the Red Sox. He likes to come out early and take some swings. 3 home runs in his major league career.
Number 33, Steve Avery.
Crowd roars as Avery steps in. He hit some shots in BP. Had a couple of home runs last year for the Braves. He takes a called strike.
Last year against Seattle was Roger Clemens getting a base hit off Norm Charlton.
Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitches away. That evens things on Avery at 2-2. Now ball sends it foul. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Veteran runs 12 hits, 1 error for the Mariners, 7-16-0 for the Sox.
Only pitches that have hit for the Red Sox in interleague play. Suppan had a couple of at-bats, and Wakefield.
One more time. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Avery. Skied foul down the left field line.
Avery has had 1 pinch running appearance for the Red Sox.
Eshelman, while he was up, had a base hit against the Mets. Jimmy Williams here going to Steve Avery as his pinch hitter for Jim Corsi. Pitch is down low, chopped towards second base. Joey Cora with the play. Avery is out, 2 gone for the Red Sox here in the 10th inning.
Like it might have been ball 4. Looked like the pitch might have been down. But Avery gets a nice round of applause from the fans around the Red Sox dugout.
Number 30, the center fielder, Jesus Tavares.
Jesus Tavares had a nice night against Randy Johnson last night, getting the start out in right field. Ground ball, right side, finds the hole between first and second, out into right field for a base hit.
Well, Tavares does not have a stolen base, says with the Red Sox. Had 22 at AAA before being called up, leading the International League. And you would think here he would certainly be trying to steal second base.
Number 56, the right fielder, Darren Bragg.
Tavares will be held over at first base by Paul Sorrento. Darren Bragg steps in. Bragg takes ball 1.
Mentioned last night that Dan Wilson has thrown out 46% of runners going against him this season. Getting some cooperation from his pitching staff, but also a very good catcher.
Sox team numbers are not good. 43 stolen bases. They've been caught 35 times this year. There's ball 2. Steal second. And down low, ball 4. That'll push Tavares into scoring position with 2 outs. Watching his bullpen be less than effective again today.
Jeff Fry.
2 on, 2 outs, and a chance for Jeff Fry to end it here in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Outfield pulled in shallow, both Griffey and Buna, and both have terrific throwing arms. Any kind of base hit right at him is going to be very difficult to score.
Fry already with 2 hits on the day, takes ball 1 down and away. Hurtado can't find the plate.
Uh-oh. Nobody in the bullpen. Lou have a few choice words for Hurtado here.
Lou may have seen just about enough of this.
Looks like a trip loose made to the mound. He's stopping away back. Talk to Wendell Kim. Someone's looking up in the stands at somebody. Always popular here at Fenway. He was a player with the Yankees.
Talk didn't help, though. 2 balls, no strikes. Three balls, no strikes. Most of them aren't close.
Looks like he's aiming the ball right now. And hadn't been close at all.
Base runners for the Sox. Tavares at second. Bragg at first with 2 outs. Almost hit him with that one to load him up. So the bases are loaded for the 3rd straight inning for the Red Sox. They left them full in the 8th, again in the 9th. They've loaded them up again here in the 10th with Nomar Garciaparra coming up.
Number 5, the shortstop.
Nomar usually swings at the first pitch, and you're not sure if that'll be a good thing to do in this situation.
Again, not close.
Almost, you got to make him throw one.
Joey Cora going to come in from second base. Try and settle down Hurtado. Finally a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garciaparra drills one towards the wall in left field. Off the wall, the Red Sox will win it. Tavares scores, and the Red Sox come from behind to win